Good morning. Britain discussed Keir Starmer's £2.26 billion pledge to help Ukraine buy missiles. Good morning. Britain's Susanna Reid has blasted Prime Minister Keir Starmer following his controversial £2. 26 billion pledge to support Ukraine and end its war with Russia, despite the recent railfare rise in England. Speaking to commentators Kevin Maguire and Andrew Pearce, the presenter said, "Can I ask, just for people who are finding out that they're paying almost 5% more for their rail cards and tickets, can I ask how popular all of this is, Kevin, electrically?" This is a Labour government. You've already talked about the echoes of the Iraq war pursued by a Labour government did not end well at all. You've got this Labour government that promised it would support working people. Susanna continued, "We know that fuel bills are going up, despite the fact the manifesto said that we would save £300 on our fuel bills. We now know rail fares are going up." Meanwhile, £1.6 billion of extra support for Ukraine. Obviously no one wants a war, and defence spending sometimes can boost our UK economy, but what does this mean for the person whose bill are going up? Susanna added, "And why aren't you spending money at home?" Kevin answered, "It was noticeable the Prime Minister went out of his way to say those 5,000 missiles going to Ukraine be built in Belfast and create 200 jobs, trying to show there is almost a war dividend in the economy." He will know increased military spending is generally popular, to which Susanna agreed, "Electorally popular, yes." The commentator continued, "Unfortunately, but you can get sucked in here, and I think it's where his diplomacy is right." "I get a bit windy and I wonder, British troops on the ground in Ukraine, they're going to get fired or people are going to die." "I really don't think that's the way to go. Support, give arms, support Ukraine, impose economic sanctions." "There's all cost to those, but do not put British troops on the ground," Kevin pleaded. Starmer's pledge was part of a four-point plan the Prime Minister unveiled during a meeting with 18 European leaders on Sunday, March 2, including Volodymyr Zelensky, to try to form a deal to end the war in Ukraine. Speaking at a press conference in Lancaster House, the Prime Minister said that any deal must be backed by strength. "Every nation must contribute to that in the best way that it can, bringing different capabilities and support to the table, but all taking responsibility to act, all stepping up their own share of the burden." "So we agreed some important steps today. First, we will keep the military aid flowing and keep increasing the economic pressure on Russia to strengthen Ukraine now. Second, we agreed that any lasting peace must ensure Ukraine's sovereignty and security, and Ukraine must be at the table. Third, in the event of a peace deal, we will keep boosting Ukraine's own defensive capabilities to deter any future invasion. Fourth, we will go further to develop a coalition of the willing to defend a deal in Ukraine and to guarantee the peace. Not every nation will feel able to contribute, but that can't mean that we sit back. Instead, those willing will intensify planning now with real urgency. The UK is prepared to back this with boots on the ground and planes in the air, together with others. Europe must do the heavy lifting.